Hi, welcome. You're the class of 2018, right there. That's you. This is so exciting. Unless you are a newly admitted transfer student, in which case I'm so happy to welcome you. My name is Theo Cunningham. I serve on the Wildcat Welcome Board of Directors as the Director for Transfer Students. Tonight we are so excited. I'm joined by two other members of the Board of Directors and three wonderful peer advisors who are so excited to answer all of your questions. I will be moderating this Hangout. There will be a few more throughout the course of the summer that you can be excited to watch as we long await Wildcat Welcome in September. We're so excited to welcome you. So this is a chance, kind of a space for you to ask whatever questions you might have about life at Northwestern. You can ask those questions via Twitter. You can tweet at Wildcat Welcome. Facebook, you can message us, Wildcat Welcome Board of Directors. Or if social media isn't really your jam, you can always email us at wildcatwelcome@u.northwestern.edu. So those are your three ways to ask questions. Whatever you want to know, we are ready to talk about. You can also be looking out for information in this nifty piece of literature here called Purple Prep. You're going to be receiving them in the mail pretty shortly. But this is pretty much your guide to everything Northwestern. Anything you want to know, the answers are here. We're going to be referencing it throughout the night. So be excited about that. So without further ado, I'm so excited to have my friends here introduce themselves, and we can start with Kelly.
Hey guys, I'm Kelly. I'm originally from Hoffman Estates, Illinois, which is about 45 minutes away from Northwestern. I'm a third-year peer advisor, so I've been around the block a few times. I am a biomedical engineering major in the McCormick School of Engineering in the class of 2015, so I'm a rising senior. And this summer, I'll be working at a pharmaceutical consulting firm.
Hey guys, my name's Ben. I'm originally from Crystal Lake, Illinois. I serve on the Wildcat Welcome Board of Directors as the Director for First Year Initiatives. I'm majoring in the Integrated Science Program in Biology in the Weinberg College of Arts and Sciences. I'm a class of 2015, and this summer I'm going to be working with a startup out in San Francisco called Lift Ventures. And I'm so excited to meet you guys.
Hi guys, my name is Molly. I am from Denver, Colorado, and I serve as the director for the Medill School of Journalism on the Wildcat Welcome Board of Directors. And I also do a lot of work with all that really fun social media that you might be seeing so far. So keep enjoying that. I am a journalism student, and I also study political science and integrated marketing here at Northwestern. I am the class of 2015, which means I will be a senior next year as well. And this summer, I will be working in New York City at Ogilvy PR, doing a bunch of PR stuff.
Cool. Hey guys, what's up? Hey guys, what's up? My name is Alex Chin. I am from Fremont, California. I'm a second-year peer advisor. I am in the dual degree program with Weinberg and the Beaton School of Music, majoring in saxophone performance and neurobiology, and I'm the class of 2016. This summer, I'll be staying in Evanston doing Alzheimer's disease research with my advisor. Yeah.
And hi guys, I'm Vasiliki Valkanas. I'm from Deerfield, Illinois. I'm a third-year returning peer advisor for the School of Communications. I'm doing communication studies with a psych minor, and I'm doing the integrated marketing and communication certificate. I'm the class of 2015, which means I'm also a rising senior. And this summer, I'm still figuring out exactly what I'm doing, but I'm going to be doing something with advertising. I have an internship tomorrow. I interview tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So the first question we have to start us off is something we've been hearing kind of a lot on the Board of Directors' various social media accounts. Can anyone speak to how the quarter system is different from semesters and how one can best prepare for that?
So I guess I'll take this one. The one thing with the quarter system is that it moves very fast in comparison to semesters. We're doing things about 10 weeks versus about 15, but it's also a great thing because we get to take more classes and it moves at a really fast pace. So the best thing I would say in order to prepare for that kind of thing is just know that in that first week you're going to be learning new material, which is awesome, but also can be a little bit overwhelming. So just knowing that going in is something that's really helpful, especially as a freshman.
For sure. Thank you so much. So something else that we've been hearing, which is interesting, I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it because it's so kind of ambiguous. what is something I must do as a Wildcat?
Well, I guess I'll take this one then. I would say I'm from California, so I love being by the beach. I love being by the water, and luckily Northwestern is by Lake Michigan. So we have two beaches. We have South Beach and we have North Beach. So it's awesome when spring rolls around and you and your friends are done with class and with midterms, and you just take a stroll to South Beach just to watch the waves come in.
And then, I don't know, there's so many amazing activities and things you can do. But one of the biggest things that I hear people say is doing dance marathon. It's a great opportunity, and even if you just do it one of your 4 years, it's amazing. You raise money for this grand charity, and everyone is pretty much in this tent and dances for 30 hours, and it's crazy, exhausting, but beautiful, and everyone's pretty much crying tears of happiness at the end, and it's one of the moments when you really feel like part of the Northwestern community.
I'll also add an experience that I had just last quarter. So everybody always says, oh, you have to watch the sunrise over the lake, Phil. And I'm like, okay, I'll get to it. And then this year, finally, I saw it, and it was just absolutely breathtaking. Like I've seen sunrises, but over the lake, Phil, which is just the most beautiful part of campus, it will just really take your breath away.
Nice. Thank you guys so much. So some of you all in the class of 2018 may be graduating now, which is so exciting. Congratulations. But so your summer is from now until the middle of September, which is kind of a super long time. So the question we've been getting is, what should I be doing right now? What should I be doing with this summer?
Absolutely. I think that's a totally common question that people have. Quarter system's super tricky with the scheduling, but I think the most important thing to be doing right now is to think about some of those deadlines maybe that you're going to see when you get Purple Prep in the mail, to keep working on those housing contracts, surfing around RoomSync if you're trying to find a roommate, filling out the information that you need to online, thinking about where you want to live. And keeping in mind some of those deadlines that you are going to see in some of the materials that you're sent to your house, but at the same time, enjoy yourself. You're graduating, you're with your friends, this is your last summer where you're all going to be kind of in that same situation, so really enjoy the time that you have with them, enjoy the time that you have with your family in your hometown, or if any adventures that you get to go on, and kind of get excited to come here, but also know that, it's going to happen in September, and in the meantime, just enjoy yourself.
Awesome, thanks. Yeah, and I know that we here in the office are working super hard. Molly's working super hard to make a bunch of social media to interact with you guys. So definitely look out for that because it's super fun and cool and stuff. So a question we've been receiving, particularly from the engineering community, are what sort of tests we have to take over the summer and how students should prepare, how difficult they are. Can anyone speak to that?
I guess as the engineer, I'll take this one too. So the two placement tests that you really need to take are the ALEC, which is for chemistry, and then the math placement. And those are both due by July 1st. So you have a little bit of time. But as far as preparing goes, I would just say kind of go over basic concepts just to refresh your memory, because some of you might have taken some of these classes your sophomore year of high school. So just kind of remembering what calculus is or what basic chemistry is really helpful going into them. But just remember that placement tests are meant to put you in the right place. The point is not to get 100%. It's to make sure that when you get here, you're in the class that's the best for you. So just keep that in mind as you go about taking them.
Absolutely, thanks. So kind of more of a basic thing, but when will students have the opportunity to buy books?
Cool, I'll answer that one. So I know it can be like very exciting, you're over the summer, you're waiting to start classes, but don't worry, you don't need to do anything yet. Class registration isn't until Wildcat Welcome, so you really don't know which books you'll need to buy, so just relax over the summer. And then during Wildcat Welcome, after you guys do registration, just ask your PA to schedule in some time to take you to, there are like a lot of different options to buy books around Evanston. There's Beck's Bookstore, which is kind of like a used bookstore in downtown, and you can also buy books from the Norris University Center, which is our school's bookstore.
Awesome, thank you. So something else that will be kind of talked about are pre-Wildcat Welcome programs, so kind of pre-orientation programs before we actually get together all as a group. Does anyone know when we should be applying for those? And
Totally. Sorry, Theo. But totally, deadline for applying for pre-orientation programs is June 1st, so it's right around the corner. If it's something that you're thinking about, we totally encourage you to apply, read a little bit about the different interests that each of them appeal to. If there's something that seems interesting to you, if there's something that maybe challenges you in a way that you aren't normally challenging yourself, or something that is something you're really passionate about, look into those specific programs and go for it. There's all different types of options. There's some that are long periods of time. There's some that are just a couple days, some that are religiously affiliated, some that are leadership-based, some that are adventure-based. So kind of look into that. Think about if it's a kind of adventure that you want to have before coming to Northwestern, and make sure to think and get that deadline in before June 1st.
Awesome, thank you. Can anyone speak to what they wish they had known about the summer before freshman year? Like, what do we do? What mindset are we in? I don't know.
I'll talk about that. So, I don't know. I'm the kind of person who really needs to be organized, needs to be prepared, and I feel like a lot of you probably are the same way. So really, the best thing to think about is just to relax. You are going to be in the very best of hands when you get here. We have a whole set of peer advisors, a lot of advisors here as well, who are all focused on trying to make you have the best first year and 4 years of experience at Northwestern. So really don't stress. I know you want to be working on your schedules right now. You want to have that registration and everything already handled, but once you get here, we'll cover everything that you need. So just relax, enjoy your last summer before having to go to college, and enjoy that last time with your friends. I mean, obviously you'll have it later on, but it's something special.
Yeah, I'll add on to that too. So like this whole college thing, like it's so exciting and it's hard not to be a little bit nervous. But I think if going into it, I had known just like how much support there's going to be and just how caring all of the people are. Like this is a community that you're going to find your place in and you're going to be comfortable, and like we are here to facilitate that process. So I mean, just like relax as much as you can because everything is going to be great.
Awesome. So just to go into like kind of the basic of things, there's this phase in the middle that says Wildcat Welcome, and we've been using that language a lot. But what exactly is Wildcat Welcome, and what can new students expect?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it is well known in my friend group that I love Wildcat Welcome. I mean, I'm a second-year peer advisor. But for those who don't know as much, Wildcat Welcome is an 8-day experience for new students, so both transfers and freshmen coming in. And it's just like Northwestern's way of transitioning people into Northwestern in this community. And we do a lot of fun things, like we go to workshops about issues like mental health, alcohol, etc. And then we also do, you know, like lighter things, like we're taking a day and going to Six Flags and hanging out with one another. So it's a lot, but afterwards you'll feel so prepared to take on Northwestern.
Thank you so much. All right, so our next question is a little bit more Medill specific, but there's kind of talk of foreign language placement exams. I'm sorry, I have to read this question, make sure I get all the details of it. But should we take exams in math and science even if we're in Medill, or is it just kind of foreign language? Can we parcel that out?
Yeah, absolutely. The reason that the language requirement is the only one that's in Purple Prep is because it's the only one that is like a required part of your journalism major. If you think that you're going to want to be studying a science, or you think you're going to want to be studying something math, and you think that it's a sequence that you're interested in entering right off of the bat, go ahead and take those exams. But we really don't tend to send people in that direction because it's not usually something that when you're filling in those math or science elective credits when you're on campus, you don't usually need to have a placement exam to take the classes that our students are typically interested in taking. Again, it's not to say if you're interested in double majoring in something that's science-based or math-based, go ahead and take that exam. It'll never hurt, but it's not something that the majority of our students do need to do. But again, send us a message on Facebook if you want to talk more about that.
Phew, thank you. That one was stressing me out, but we got it. All right, so this is a big one that's kind of discussion on the Facebook group and things. Can anyone speak to housing for first-year students and finding a roommate?
Sure, yeah. So we've noticed that like a lot of students have been finding their roommates on the Facebook group, which we think is really cool. But like you definitely shouldn't feel like, oh, that's the process that I have to use. Like if you want to go out on Facebook and find somebody to be your roommate, then that's great. Like do whatever you feel most comfortable with. But there's also this thing called Room Sync, which helps to match you with people who are like going to be complementary roommates. So you can do that, or you can choose your own roommate like specific by name. And those are both great options. It's just important to figure out like what you're going to be most comfortable with. And also, the deadline for submitting the housing contract is June 2nd, so be aware of that.
Awesome. Okay, this is one that we're taking from an email that we got, which is really exciting. It has some technical language that I can't totally parcel out, but hopefully I have an engineer who can. Says, for engineering majors, do you need a dedicated graphics card and quad-core CPU? Excuse me. Would an Ultrabook with 4th generation Intel be okay?
So as an engineer, I know like I've had in the past a lot of my new students have been very concerned about what kind of laptop they need because engineers do a lot with their computers. And honestly, you do not need the most impressive laptop ever to get through an engineering background. While a graphics card is cool and a good thing to have, it's not necessary for the programs that we have here. As far as Windows versus Mac, I've had friends in engineering that have both. It's totally a personal preference. So going with what you're comfortable with is honestly the most important thing and something that you can use. There are also specs listed online that say bare minimums that you should have to be able to run the softwares that you need, but it's nothing super complicated or fancy.
I am so impressed with you that you could make something out of that combination of words and letters. You're awesome. That was so cool. So kind of on a different spectrum of the major scale, say someone doesn't have a declared major right now. Should they be worried? Should they be thinking about it?
Yeah, let me just say, take a moment and breathe. I know it's like seems super stressful not to have a major yet, but I promise you there's so many other people who are in the same boat. You don't have to declare a major until sophomore year, and even then I know a lot of my fellow juniors who are still changing things around. I actually transferred schools even. I started off in Weinberg, and my sophomore year I realized that communication studies was better for me. So there's really a lot of options for you. I wouldn't stress. I promise everything will work out. And really your freshman year is a time to experiment with different classes. So in your extra elective courses, maybe experiment with some possible majors, and I promise you'll find where you need to be.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then I guess this is a question for all of you. What is your favorite thing about Northwestern?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to jump right in because I have the best answer to this ever. My favorite thing about Northwestern, like, just look on your computer screen right now and see the people that are taking an hour out of their night on a Wednesday when they could be doing homework and they could be hanging out, they could be on the lake field because it's beautiful and warm outside right now, but they're here and they want to talk to you because they love this school so much. The best thing about Northwestern is the way that people feel about Northwestern, the passion and the love that we have for being here and for each other and for the amazing things that everyone is doing. And we're just so excited. I'm so excited for you guys to get here, for us to meet you, and for you to pick up on that spirit and to find that love and to share it with the community around you. It's seriously amazing. Oh my gosh, go Cats.
Yeah, Molly, like I couldn't have said it better myself, but like, and also to elaborate on that, so you've got all these awesome people who care so much about the community, and then there are so many groups that are entirely student-run, like Mayfest, which runs Dillo Days. Like, students put this huge concert on, and it's amazing. So not only do you have these really cool people who are like going to be your closest friends, but you get to do really amazing things together with them, and you get to learn just so much by all the different leadership roles that exist on campus.
And I think going off this like train of thought about like how awesome Northwestern people are, I just want to say like it's easy to come to college and be like, you know, I am so book smart. Like for me, I'm pre-med, so I'm like, you know, science classes, I love them whenever. But I think the first time I like took a history class, I was like, wow, like I can learn so much from other people, and you know, like it sounds so cliche, but everyone around you is a teacher, and I learned so much from everyone in this Northwestern community, and I couldn't have asked to bigger, better place to choose to spend my 4 years.
Kind of still going off of that, all about the people. I think the diversity that we have at Northwestern is fantastic, especially within schools. Like, we have a great journalism program, we have great engineering, we have great theater, and I know as an engineer, I love the fact that I can experience great engineering studies during the day, but then go to a performance of Sweeney Todd by someone in the theater department at night. And it's just a great way to experience college and really see what's out there.
And then also there's just something about finding who you are. There's so many different opportunities. Speaking off of pretty much what everyone else has said so far, I like arts, so I have a lot of art groups and clubs on campus. I don't really know sports, but at the same time I can join IMs or club sports. There's something for everyone, and you can also have that opportunity to experiment with something that maybe you've never really tried before. And the same thing goes for classes. There's a lot of really amazing options. Like, I never thought I would take literature of existentialism, and then all of a sudden I find myself in that freshman year. And there's just some really amazing options that you may not have thought you'd ever be in.
That was so cool. Y'all inspired me. Oh my goodness, that was so wonderful. I want to say my favorite thing about Northwestern too, and relative to all those things, it's going to start out sounding a little bit shallow, but it's not. I've said it before too, so this is not new for some people. But this color is very nice. This is an aesthetically very pleasing color. I'm a transfer student, and I went to school at a place where my school colors were red and green, and I just a little bit felt like an elf at all times. But purple is really nice, and I think expanding on that a little bit, this is a metaphor that I'm working on, so if it resonates with you, contact me and we can work it out, because I think it has a kind of a crisp and classic feel to it that's still really applicable to the everyday, and I think that works with Northwestern students and the Northwestern campus, that people are doing the coolest things in so many different areas, but are still so able to relate to one another and still like so in and around every day. I don't know. That's my feeling. We can chat about it later. But getting back to questions that we have, ooh, that was a lot. When do most people study abroad?
In general, like, it totally depends on the country and the program, and there's different requirements for each. It tends to be the case that junior year is most popular, and I know for a lot of programs, fall quarter is the best because, like, since we're on the quarter system, that means that you would only have to be away for fall rather than winter and spring, because sometimes that overlaps. But it definitely depends on the program. Anyone in Medill will probably do their JR, which is the journalism residency, right, Molly? Over junior year. A lot of people will also utilize summers, but yeah, it's a great experience.
For sure, awesome. And then in terms of, like, here at Northwestern, getting back to housing a little bit, because I know that's on y'all's minds, what are the best residence halls?
So I had a unique experience my freshman year because I lived in a res college, which is obviously different than res halls, but honestly, being in a res hall is all about the community that you find there and that you build, and that is in every single res hall on campus. So while you might be really concerned about location or the specific amenities, just know that whatever res hall you do end up in or do choose, you will find that community there, and that's really important. As far as finding out like what size you want or location, North by Northwestern, which is a student publication, has a housing guide that they publish every year that gives more specifics and breakdowns of where a small dorm on North Campus might be or a large dorm on South Campus. So look out for that if you want some more specifics.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So this is a question I think I've been actually thinking about, and I'm not sure if any of you all know, but are there half-credit classes available in any of the NU schools that are interesting or that you've heard of?
Yeah, actually, my freshman year, so I'm like a science major through and through, but I sang in a choir my freshman year, and that was for a half credit, and that was just an incredible experience. There are so many things like that, or dance, or other things that are half credits that you can sort of just tack on because they're so cool.
Thank you so much. So this is actually one that I thought was a very valid question that we received over email. Do we need bikes on campus? Can we bike on campus? Is that a thing people do? I want to be normal.
Yeah, so with me, I because I'm juggling a music and a science course load, stereotypically all my music classes are down south and all my science classes are up north. So I have 10 minutes to power walk up and down Sheridan, which is our like main road. But I think if it teaches you to power walk, and it's like really not that bad. Like our Northwestern campus is like probably like 0.9 miles long, so it's like really not that far if you don't want to bike. For example, like I learned to bike the very first day I was here, but then I ended up feeling not comfortable with it, so then I just started walking all my classes, and it was perfectly fine.
Awesome, thank you. So what was the most important thing that any of you brought when you first moved to Northwestern that you didn't necessarily like find it as obvious, or like, I don't know, explore your brains then?
For sure. I can answer that on the flip side and then segue into the answer while I come up with it in my mind. I think one thing that I did bring that I really didn't need was a bunch of T-shirts from high school that were like branded or whatever, and like from like certain things. You accumulate a lot of stuff when you get to college. So packing as light as possible is always really good. I know for me, one thing that I brought that I loved, like you hear about shower shoes all the time and like investing in good shower shoes, but I did, and I got ones that like good soles. They were comfortable, they fit well, and like it was a really nice thing because it's kind of, it's sharing a bathroom with people, maybe an adjustment for you, but if you have shoes you really like, I don't know, it worked for me. Anyone else?
I'll talk about it. So yeah, I personally am like clothing obsessed, and my room was smaller than I had hoped for. Most likely my closet was. So bringing things for organization, just like even something that can go under bed for storage or working out like that, was really helpful on the practical term. Also, like a little spray bottle. Nobody really thinks of that, but using that on like clothes when they're wrinkly will like help you so you don't need to iron them. That's always a plus. A little vacuum is nice. And then something a little more emotional. I always think bringing a picture from home or like a stuffed animal or something, because there's going to be a point somewhere throughout the year where you start feeling a little homesick or sentimental, and just having that there is a nice reminder. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of things that were really useful for me, duct tape, for sure. Those like 3M like hook hangers that you can put on the wall and they don't leave a mark, those are also super, super helpful. Like Vasiliki said, organizational things like binders or like little file things that don't take up too much space, but just like so you can organize your life. You don't have to like run to CVS when you're like, oh, I have more papers than I have places to put them. So that just helps a lot. And then like I would say it's a good idea to bring like a little box or a shoebox or something just to put in mementos like as you move through your time at Northwestern. Just like, oh, I went to this show and it was really cool. I'll put the ticket stub there. Or just anything like that. I think like I did that, and I'm really glad that I did, looking back on it.
Thank you. That's awesome. So our last question of this evening, just to give kind of incoming students a look into what Northwestern life is like in a daily kind of manner, what would y'all say is the highlight of this spring quarter that we're in right now?
Yeah, for sure. I'll answer this one to start. I think, one question that I get asked a lot personally is like, oh, you're from California, like, how's the weather going? And, like, one, I will say winters get better. They're not as bad as everyone makes them out to be. But then come spring quarter, everyone, when it breaks 70, Northwestern just converts into like a beach campus. Everyone's like out walking around, out on the lake field, tanning, doing homework outside. So it's just really nice to see like, like all the pastels and all these like spring colors just like out and about, and everyone just smiling and just being happy to be here.
Okay, I like, it's very easy for me. The first time that we got all of the peer advisors together in one place for our first training, oh man, like these people, just get ready. They're the absolute best friends that like I have made, and they're going to be some of your best friends. They care just so much about this campus and about welcoming the new students, and having them all together for the first time was just absolutely the highlight of the quarter for me.
The highlight for me this quarter is a little bit personal. It was my roommate and freshman roommate's birthday, and so we decided to go downtown. We went to this crazy Indian Latin American fusion restaurant, which sounds really weird, but it was actually the best thing ever. Then we just wandered around downtown. It was a beautiful day, and it was just great to be able to experience Chicago during this great time of year.
The highlight for my quarter has definitely been interacting with all of you guys on social media. You guys send some super great Snapchats. Keep that up, and if you don't follow us, you should. But definitely just been really fun to kind of get to know you guys on Facebook, on Instagram, reading our Tumblr, and the snaps you send has been super fun. So keep sending them. I love it.
As for me, I had a little bit of an easier quarter, so I've been taking advantage of some of the things on campus. I took 2 trips at the Center for Civic Engagement called NU Day in Chicago, which were amazing. I went out to the Art Institute and the Museum of Contemporary Art, and then I just went to Chinatown this last weekend, which was like crazy awesome. We had a professor from Northwestern talk about things there and lead us through the trip, and I got like free food, and it was really just like find some of those experiences and take advantage of them when you're here.
Awesome. And my highlight of this quarter, I guess it kind of echoes what Ben said, but I've had the privilege of working with some of the peer advisors that you all as new students are going to have in the fall, and they are such amazing people, and I'm so lucky to get to know them and things like that. It's just really been a very, it's something I'm going to remember from my Northwestern experience, so I'm happy about that. But those are all the questions that we have time to answer right now. We want to thank you guys so much for joining us live or watching this recorded later. Life is good. If you have further questions, know that this right here is going to be coming to you in the mail, and it has so much good information, so definitely look it over when you receive it. If there's something that doesn't quite make sense, you can always contact the Office of New Student and Family Programs online. And if you have further questions, you can save them for future Hangouts, email us, whatever is going on. We will be coming back to you with our second installment of the Google Hangout series on June 18th, so be looking out for that. Congratulations to everyone graduating. You are all fantastic. Congratulations on being Wildcats. You've made wonderful choices, and we're so excited. Yay! Goodbye.